You know that sudden sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach when you realize your driver's license expires tomorrow? Or, oh man, maybe you just noticed it actually expired last week and now you're picturing yourself burning an entire afternoon just stuck in some endless line at the DMV? Well, welcome to This Explainer. Today, I am handing you the digital cheat code to Vermont's DMV system so you can bypass the line and totally take back control of your time.
Okay, let's dive into this because, yes, you really can skip that dreary waiting room and renew your license right from the comfort of your own couch. Vermont's digital infrastructure has actually made it incredibly fast and efficient to handle this whole chore entirely online. We're going to break down exactly how to do it so you don't get tripped up along the way.
So, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. An introduction. 2. A step-by-step guide. 3. Common issues and solutions. 4. Tips for a smooth process. And 5. Our conclusion and disclaimer. All right, let's get moving.
Section 1, Introduction. Who can renew online? Now, the Vermont MyDMV portal is an absolutely fantastic tool. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we need to confirm who is actually eligible for this digital fast lane.
So here's a quick checklist of who cannot renew online. If you hold a commercial driver's license, a CDL, you got to do this in person or by mail, depending on your specific endorsements. You're also excluded from the online portal if you need a legal name change, if your license photo hasn't been updated in the last 4 years, or if your license has been expired for more than 3 years. Also, and this is important, due to upcoming statutory road safety rules, drivers aged 80 and over are prohibited from online renewal simply because they must appear at a branch in person for vision or road tests. But hey, if none of those exceptions apply to you, you are ready to proceed online.
Moving right along to Section 2, our step-by-step renewal guide. Quick and easy renewal. I'm going to break this process down into highly accessible micro actions so you can get the whole shebang done in just a matter of minutes.
It truly takes just 4 simple steps. Step 1, gather your info. You won't need to upload any complex scanned files or anything, but you absolutely must have your social security number, your current driver's license number, and your date of birth ready to go. Step 2, head over to the official Vermont MyDMV portal and just pop those details in to pull up your record. Step 3, pay the required renewal fees. And finally, Step 4, print your temporary license immediately. You're going to want to keep that piece of paper with you until the real one actually arrives in the mail.
And this brilliantly illustrates your options when you hit Step 3. Vermont gives you 2 choices for standard licenses. A 2-year license is going to run you $32. But if you're like me and prefer not to even think about this chore again for a good long while, the 4-year license is $51.
Now listen up, because here is an insider secret. When you actually go to pay, using a standard credit or debit card triggers an automatic 2.3% processing surcharge just to cover electronic network costs. But if you choose the ACH or e-check option, which literally just means typing in your bank routing and account numbers, it is completely free of any processing fees. It's a small thing, but it keeps a little extra money right in your pocket.
Section 3, Common Issues and Solutions. Troubleshooting. Because let's face it, even the most efficient systems have their pitfalls, and we want to troubleshoot the pain points that always seem to trip up out-of-state workers, college students, or frequent travelers. Okay, listen to this real human experience shared on a local Vermont Reddit thread. A resident who had moved out of state temporarily wrote, "I had mail forwarding set up. The DMV said they will absolutely not forward a license for any reason. Guys, this is a massive trap. State mail from the DMV is not treated like your regular Amazon packages or grocery store junk mail."
So let's clearly contrast the wrong and right ways to handle your mailing address here. The wrong way? Relying on the standard USPS mail forwarding system. Do that, and the envelope will just bounce right back to Montpelier. The right way? Well, if you know you're going to be out of state, simply add a specific note to your application. Or, honestly, better yet, email the DMV directly to request delivery to your temporary out-of-state address. Traveling nurses and remote workers do this all the time, and the DMV is actually incredibly helpful about reissuing misdirected licenses if you just communicate with them directly via email. Now, another major point of friction involves that temporary license you print out at the end of the online process. Yes, for sure, it is a legally binding document that allows you to drive your car while you wait for the shiny plastic ID in the mail. However, if you try to use that piece of paper to board a domestic flight, the TSA will flat out reject it on its own. To fly, you absolutely must present that paper document alongside your expired physical ID, and critically, that physical ID cannot be expired for more than 1 year. Seriously, do not get caught out and stranded at airport security.
Let's move to Section 4,
Tips for a smooth process, and see how this builds into mastering the timeline. You know the steps, you know the pitfalls. Now let's talk timing so you never even have to panic.
Let's just map out the exact timeline you should keep in your head. You actually become eligible to renew online a full 6 months prior to your expiration date. That's a huge window. About 30 days prior, the DMV will send you a courtesy physical renewal notice in the mail. Day 0 is when you finally log on, pay, and print your temporary license. And from that day, it generally takes about 10 business days for the permanent, hard plastic license to arrive in your mailbox. But, okay, what if you let your expiration date slip by? 14. This is an absolutely vital number to remember in Vermont. You are granted exactly a 14-day grace period to legally drive on an expired license. The very moment you hit day 15, your license is entirely invalid for driving, and you are literally breaking the law if you get behind the wheel. So the crucial point is, whatever you do, do not procrastinate for years. Seriously, if your license remains expired for more than 3 years, the state system treats you as if you've never driven a car before. You will be forced to retake the written knowledge test and physically take the road skills test all over again just to get your basic privileges back. Please save yourself that immense hassle. Which brings us to Section 5, Conclusion and Official Disclaimer. Just some final thoughts. By now, you should feel fully empowered to navigate the Vermont DMV system with total confidence and ease. To summarize everything we've unpacked today, renewing your driver's license online in Vermont is a remarkably fast, 4-step process that saves you time, gas, and a whole lot of stress. As long as you know the eligibility rules, choose ACH to dodge those pesky processing fees, and manage your out-of-state mailing logistics proactively, you can handle this entire task flawlessly right from your living room. It really leaves you wondering, what other digital civic services are out there right now that could be saving you this much time and headache?
Finally, before we officially wrap up, just a quick mandatory note. The information presented in this explainer is based on currently available resources and guidelines from the state. But because state policies, fees, and digital systems can and definitely do shift over time, please be sure to verify any changes directly with the Vermont DMV to ensure absolute accuracy for your specific situation. Thank you so much for joining me to master this process today, and hey, safe driving out there.